All right, guys. Let me bump down my sensitivity just a smidge. There we go. Yo, so we're about to be jumping into some Star Wars, guys. Starting off with Knights of the Old Republic. Soul Chef coming through, dude. Let's go. Welcome back to the stream, man. Yeah, guys. So tonight will be the first night we like officially kind of start going into we're gonna be playing OG. It's gonna be the OG Xbox plugged straight in my capture card, guys. So this is straight off the original console. And just to prove it to you guys, we're about to do this thing. So that's the plan for tonight, guys. We are hopping into some Star Wars. So we got big changes coming up here. One thing I want to do real quick, I would like to pull up. We got to pull up our Social Stream Ninja app and Lumia. Lumia will run our lights, and once Lumia's up, we'll run a quick test command, make sure things are working. There we go. There we go. We got everything connected. Chef, let's go, dude. You said it was fun at the time. Lots of talking, if I remember right. LOL. You don't think you would enjoy it now? Gotcha. Gotcha, dude. I figured it'd be a good start with some of the classics. All right. Whip this up here. Boom. I think I'm about to go. You said nice cams, dude. I appreciate it, man. Oh, I forgot to turn the light on. I'm gone. My dog's hiding, bro. You see that bone? You see that big ass bone? That bone is legit a cow bone. It's like something I found out in the pasture. So did you try White Knight Chronicles 1 and 2 for PS3? You love those games? Gotcha. Gotcha, dude. I need to write that down, bro. This is my problem. If I don't write things down, I will forget. Unless I like see it going back through editing for clips. Yo, what up, Captain Taco? He said feel free to show these videos you sent in the Discord general chat. Bet. Let me pull them up. It's an RPG game and craft your own combos. That's kind of cool. I like that. You get to roll with your own combos. I got you, Captain Taco, aka Next Level Skywalker. Pulling up. Oh yo. Are you guys seeing that? Yeah, you are. All right, we got it right here, I think. Oh, dude, that's sick, bro. Look at that. Yo, look at that, bro. All right, there's one. Cause you had like different variants of this bad boy. See what else we got, bro. This is sick. Oh my gosh, let me shrink that just a smidge. Let me put it up here. That's so crazy looking, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. I love it. Oh, you're out of odds. Let's go, Captain. Captain Taco's back. We're watching your videos, dude. He said with almost Power Ranger-esque transformation sequence. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I used to watch Power Rangers back in the day as a kid. These are sick, Captain Taco. Like, the lighting looks really good off those sabers, bro. Dude, like, the lighting is just phenomenal off those. It looks insane, bro. It looks insane. Oh my gosh. Dude, that's so dope. Oh my gosh. You got replaceable hilts, pieces. You can replace different parts of it, interchange them, I'm assuming. That's crazy. I'm jealous. That's insane, dude. That's insane. See, I think I kind of gone through them. Dude, that's so dope. That's so dope. I mean, honestly, I don't have anything like that. Is that something I could do online if I wanted and have it ordered? Just have it like kind of ordered and shipped. Also, guys, we got, I don't know what's going on here. All right, that's kind of, I think we'll be all right there. I'm trying to fix my little fuzzies before we start. Got one right here. Okay. Yeah. All right. What's weird is like I'm not fixing those fuzzies, bro. They're not going away. I'm trying to make them disappear, basically. So how do you like the spins? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean about the spins? And you're talking about NeoPixels having a sale, right? Okay, bet. Let me write that down as well, dude. NeoPixel. Alright, I do kind of need to get going though on the streams. I told a buddy I'd be hopping in Battlefront halfway through. I can't be staying up too late tonight. I'll Captain Taco, I'll have to look back through that later on. I'll come back to it. But right now I kind of want to hop into some KOTOR. I've got a lot I want to get done in a little amount of time. And then, yeah, I'm going to be hopping back in my routine tomorrow. Well, I was in it today, but I'll be waking up at 4:30 in the morning to work out. So like I'm waking up pretty early in the mornings. I meant to pull up the stream like an hour ago and then realized I still got to make a thumbnail. I still got to do some prep work for the stream, and I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, hey, I'm gonna go live, I'll be good. No, I wasn't like prepared at all. But I got everything pulled up and I'm about to hop into some stuff here and we're rolling. Chef, you're saying gotta go beat some ass on his Hero Ultra Rumble. Ooh, I'm a little late seeing that, Chef, but much appreciated. Yo, Dan, DV Dan. Daddy Dan's back. Daddy Dan. Let's go, dude. I'm about to pull up KOTOR. Check this out. Before I start, Dan, watch this, dude. You see this bad boy? You see this big hunk of junk? Running like an absolute beauty. And check this out, dude. We got the Duke. We got the big ass Duke controller. We're running the Duke controller on KOTOR. Alright, let's do this shit. I'm excited, man. I'm really fucking excited. Go ahead and switch on over and we'll be ready to roll. Except for my damn fuzzies on the screen that won't go away. A little frustrating. That helped a little bit. But yeah, here's what we're gonna do. I'll pull up my capture card, and so we're running this straight off the console. It might not look great, but the big chunk, dude, it's a nostalgic trip. We're gonna gotta take off my emulator. We're gonna go. There it is. Okay. Let me pull it up on my big fat monitor. Oh my god, it looks blurry. It looks blurry as shit. OG, bro, let's go. I'm all in on this thing. I'm all in. Make sure it's got audio though. I think we got audio. Well, 100%. Yeah, Dan, let me know how that audio is. Something's too quiet, too loud. Yo, what am I messing with here? Bro, I can't tell if that's the edge of the damn screen. I'm gonna pull this out. Just a wee. No, I'm gonna. You know what? Screw it. All right, let's do this. New game, movies, options. Hold on. Wait a minute. Gameplay. Dan, what are we feeling? Probably normal. First time. Auto level up. On, party members automatically level up when they have enough experience with no input from the player. Off, level up for 4 party members. Must be activated by the player, though the recommended and auto level features can still be used. Okay. If there's any like game settings, Dan, let me know. If there's anything I should have selected. But I think for now, feedback, yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. Graphics and sound. Cool. I really want to turn the music off, but I also really want to keep it on. Yo, Captain, you said you might have an insane roster in 2K. I believe it, dude. How many seasons are you in now? I think we're good. I think we're ready to roll. New game. Let's go. This is KOTOR, baby. Let's get high, baby. All right. Bro. Okay, this is sick. You said you're at 2004? Oh, you're playing old school. Hell yeah, dude. Bro, I might run soldier. Oh, there's a so we got what we got: soldier, scout, and scoundrel. I'm assuming the scoundrel's kind of like a Han Solo type. I don't know what the scout kind of fulfills, and soldier. Battle ready. Oh yeah. With no equal in combat. Of course I'm gonna run the male soldier. Hell Hell yeah, let's do this. Okay. Yeah, guys, so this is OG KOTOR on original Xbox, and yes, I am currently streaming this straight off the console. I'm gonna go custom character. Ooh. You can mess with our portrait. You added Dwight Howard. Oh, geez, Captain. Next level. You're talking like rookie Dwight Howard? Bro, what do we want? Ooh. Give me the long hair. Dude looks menacing. Attributes, okay. They're all equal right now. I assume dexterity is gonna be nice. Strength, oh, 100%. Wisdom, maybe just put a couple. A high charisma adds modifiers to force-related feats and powers that are very important to all the Jedi classes. Don't mind if I do. Well, point, what's the modifier as to before we hit a +2 modifier? That's what I'm gonna run so we can save, we can get the most out of our points doing this, I'm assuming. What up, Maz? You said you can make your own force at home with some mass and acceleration. Dun-dun-dun. I need a drum set. I need a drum set to make that hit, to make that land. And then I also need to get a audio clip of like an audience laughing. We'll make those jokes hit hard. We go 12. So 12 is kind of like that modifier. So like here's like what I'm gonna roll with for sure, and then we might just charisma one, and then we might run like constitution, health, and resilience. Not bad. I'm a little more all around, but I'm gonna roll with it. Boom. Skills. What do we got for skills, bro? Now these I don't fully understand. Treat injury. Oh, please don't mind if I do. So class skills can have a maximum skill rank of 4. Okay. Let me just go. We're gonna roll with that. So basically, anything that uses 1 skill point. This is tough. Persuade. Only the main character can select this skill during level up. Persuade options appear in dialogue. Yo, that's sick. Security is used to access electronic locking devices. Once a character invests points in the skill, it becomes one of the default options on targeted doors and containers. That's cool. Okay. So really, okay. So you wasted Jordan's career, only 1 ring when he was retiring. Oof. Oh no. Oh man. Okay, so I might run with a little persuade action. I might just run something like that. Treat injury will be 2. I'll run it. Feats. All right. All right. Oh my gosh. Master 2 weapon fighting. Count me in, bro. Is it critical strike? Empathy? I kind of want to run 2 weapon fighting. You have gained a new feats. You must use X to select your new feats before continuing. Bet. We'll accept it. Name. Jamarn Dakar. Crazy. We're gonna delete. Bro, we're gonna name, what do we name this dude? I'm just gonna call him Mai Chi, bro. Why not? Not fitting at all. Dennis Carr? Wait, hold on. Hold on, guys. I like this. Dak Santa. Jun Chan. I'm gonna call him Tug. How about that? he should be named Tug. We'll call him T, and then we'll go with these international letters, and we'll run. Is there a G anywhere? Anything that looks like a G? Maybe not. Let me go, let me delete and then go lowercase. And then we'll go back. There we go. Tug. This is Tug. His name's Tug, guys. So Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, and Chauncey Billups, Dwayne Wade, Ben Wallace, Dwight Howard are your stars. You know, that's like a full ass lineup. How'd you manage that? There's no way you can afford all those. There's gonna be, or there are no limits in place for trading and salary caps. Let's go. Oh, here we go. We're hopping into it. So this is with salary cap? That's insane. I would never be able to. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to get my pen for this. This is gonna be thick. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, the music. Oh my gosh, guys. Ooh. This is insane. I'm not even reading it, guys. I'm just in such shock right now. Years before the rise of the Galactic Empire, the Republic, crushing all resistance, Malak's war of conquest has left the Jedi Order scattered and vulnerable as countless knights fall in battle, and many more swear allegiance to the new Sith Master. In the skies above the Outer Rim world of Tars, a Jedi battle fleet engages the forces of Darth Malak? In a desperate effort to halt the Sith's galactic domination. Michael, thank you so much for the like on the live, man. Thank you so much for returning back to the stream, dude. Welcome back. I'm so hyped, bro. We are running this off of an OG console too. I might run a little sharpen filter. Let's do it, boys. Let's do it. Let's do it. We could even run a little color correction.
We've been ambushed by a Sith battle fleet. The Endar Spire is under attack. Hurry up, we don't have much time.
There we go. Yo. Okay, guys. Okay. We've been ambushed by the Sith battle fleet. The Endar Spire is under attack. Hurry up, we don't have much time. Who are you?
I'm Trask Ulgo, ensign with the Republic fleet. I'm your bunkmate here on the Endar Spire. We work opposite shifts. I guess that's why you haven't seen me before. Now hurry up. We have to find Bastila. We have to make sure she makes it off the ship alive.
Yo, we can look after our own skin. We can choose not to help. That's funny.
Bastila is the
All right, guys, we're gonna grab our
on
pen.
the Endar Spire.
I'm excited.
Well, not an officer, really. but she's the one in charge of this mission. One of our primary duties is to guarantee her survival in the event of an enemy attack. You swore an oath just like everyone else on this mission. Now it's time to make good on that oath. I've heard all about your reputation. Elite combat training, tops in your class. It's no wonder you were handpicked for this mission. Word is the officers haven't seen a recruit with your kind of potential in 20 years. But all that potential doesn't mean a thing if you can't deliver when it counts. We're soldiers. We're trained for combat. Bastila is gonna need men and women like us at her side during this attack.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's do it.
So hurry up and
Let's
grab
do
your
it.
gear.
Let's do it.
You need to
Let's
suit
do it,
up so we
guys.
can get out of here.
There we go. All right, let's do it. What do we get? Give me a short sword? Clothing? And we got 50 XP for that? Bro, let's go. We got any more loot?
Come on, we have to hurry. The Sith might already be boarding the ship to try and capture Bastila. Put your equipment on so we can get...
Alright guys, we got clothes we gotta equip. Got an implant we can wear? Okay. We're on a short sword, I guess.
Okay.
All right, let's
move
roll,
out.
guys.
We
We're
should
ready to
stick
go.
together.
Let's go.
You'll have more
Let's
success
go,
with a buddy
guys.
than on your own.
Oh my gosh. This is the coolest thing ever. Bro. We are running the big chonk controller, guys. The big Duke controller. This thing's nuts. You went 70 and 12 with Dirk, having MVP and Tim, Mr. Duncan as your sixth man. That's nuts, Captain. Press A to go to party selection screen. There's Trask.
Because of the... You always can press the black button now.
Okay, we just use our black button. Oh, bet. It's a little... Okay, cool. Cool. Let's do it. Let's unlock it.
Now that the door's
Oh,
open,
bet.
you better take the lead again.
Guys, we're cruising. You got Tim starting as a small forward. That's insane. So what, is your lineup just a bunch of 7-footers? Is that what that was? Vince Carter, Dirk, Tim Duncan, Chauncey, Dwayne, Ben Wallace, Dwight Howard. Alright, here we go. That's crazy. You need Kevin Durant as your point guard.
This is Cartonet. The Sith are threatening to overrun our position. We can't hold out long against their firepower. All
Tried to
hands
get Brown,
the
but
bridge.
failed. Oof.
That was Karth contacting
He's
us on
probably
our
a tough
portable
one to
communicators.
snag.
He's one of the Republic's best pilots. He's seen more combat than the rest of the Empire.
Trying to stock up on 2007 draft picks for KD, gotcha.
You better believe
Ooh.
it. We have to get to the bridge to help. There's a map of the Endar
There's a map
Spire
of
and
the
a copy
Endar
of
Spire.
Karth's message in your electronic journal. Just
Like, why do we have a sword, bro? When do we get a lightsaber? Come on now. I'm ready for some lightsaber action, bro. I want to use the Force. How do I select this droid? Beep, beep, beep. Woohoo! Let's run.
That door's locked, and I don't have the codes to open it. You'll have to use your security skill on it if we want to get past.
Dude, this is so sick.
What?
Security skill. Oh shit! Guys! Guys!
These Sith must be the
Oh my
advanced boarding
gosh.
party. For the Republic!
You got 7 first-round picks for 2007, about to make it 8. Is it? Are you telling me you will have the first 8 picks of the 2007 draft? Alright, that's dope. I wanted to make sure audio was sounding okay, so I put my beats on. Switching over, we're running hard now. Let's do this. I'm ready. I'm ready. Combat mode engaged.
I've got a feeling that won't...
Now we gotta use our med pack. Use item. There we go. Let's run it, boys. Let's run it. Yes.
We have to get to the bridge.
We gotta get to the bridge. Let's run it. Frag grenade? Did I really just see that? Oh, we got credits, bro. Oh, you're telling me we could be looting soldiers? Oh my gosh, we can loot. Got everything kind of looted around here? Yo? So not necessarily depends on how the team traded from. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, combat suit. Okay, we got armor, I think. There we go. Okay, it says balanced. Let's go. I'm trying to see if I can dual wield, bro. Can I dual wield? Can I do 2 long swords? It's where the roots of the lightsaber begin, with traditional swords still wielded today in many primitive cultures. And what's the short sword? The short sword we're gonna be looking at I didn't mean to do that. 2 weapon penalty if used in the offhand. I can go longsword. Oh, there's only short swords here left anyways. Okay. Yo, one's a short sword, one's a long sword, guys. This is sick, bro. Oh my gosh. Yo. Okay, we got Sith soldiers here. kind of look insane, bro. They didn't do too bad. I'm sure some of those death animations are a little outdated, but
What?
we gotta use a. I feel bad, but we're running with a med pack, bro. What are my controls exactly? That's what I'm wondering. So Tim got an MVP? And you broke the Warriors regular season record. Nice. Bro, where is... Surely they have like something for controls.
Yes.
Pressing will pause the game. Will pause. You can issue commands to your party. Press. Okay. Oh, you can freeze in game. That's kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. All right, William Smith, thank you so much for the like and the live, my guy. Let's go, dude. Welcome to the stream, man. I'm trying to figure out where to go. It's my first ever playthrough of some KOTOR.
It's a Dark Jedi.
Oh.
This fight is too much for us. We gotta stay back.
Why they call him a
All we do is get in the
Jedi,
way.
a Dark Jedi? Why wouldn't he just say Sith? Bro, this is wild. And then later tonight, guys, I will be ending with a little bit of Battlefront 2. Waiting to kind of, yo, what up,
That was one of the
Geo?
Jedi
Yo,
accompanying
what's going
Bastila.
on, dude?
Damn,
Welcome
we
to the
could've used your
stream,
help.
man. Welcome back, dude. It's been a minute. Hell yeah. I was gonna say, I saw you in the Discord. Captain Taco over here was showing off his dope ass lightsabers, man. We got to, I kind of looked through them on stream earlier. They were sick. It's like something I gotta look into at some point during as I go about my entire like Star Wars marathon journey. Cause like I'll probably be grinding nothing but Star Wars for the next 6 months, if I'm being honest. Oh snap. So continue and engage. How do I do a power attack? Like I don't get it. What? Where's my controls at, man? I have to go to the manual, guys. I'm going to the manual. I don't know what I'm doing. Controls is number 5, page 5. I'm gonna go to page 5, guys. I really want to figure out like what does what, bro. You know? Use to cycle the action menu, A button, default action, okay. X adds an action to the queue. So if I wanted adrenal, stamina, so power attack. If I just want to go power attack. Oh, you queue up what attacks you're doing. That's kind of interesting. It's just so different. I'm not used to it. Run power attacks, bro. Oh, he's hit. Missing?
Bastille is not here on the
Oh, I
bridge.
missed?
They must have retreated
I can't
to the
believe
escape
it.
pods. We better head that
The
way
life
too.
has been,
Sith
you
want
know,
Bastille alive.
lifing.
But once
I
he's off
believe
the
it,
ship, there's
dude.
nothing
I
stopping them from
believe
blasting the Endar
it.
Spire into galactic dust.
Dude, Gio, I took a, I stopped working out for a little bit, and I finally started getting back into that routine. So I'm like, I'm pretty much back to waking up at 4:30 in the morning, working out from 5 to 6, and then from about 6 to 7, I'm eating breakfast, making my shakes, taking care of my dog, and 7 o'clock hits. About between 7 and 7:15, I try to do some I try to start up with some editing and getting some clips. And then like 7:50, it's like, all right, get ready for work, get ready to head out. So it's been a sick little routine I got going. Now it's just a matter of maintaining. Kind of in that can't stop, won't stop mindset now. Do I need a...
Bastille is not here on the bridge. They must have retreated to the escape pods. We better head that way too. The Sith want Bastille alive, but once she's off the ship, there's nothing stopping them from blasting the Endar Spire into galactic dust.
All right, let's do this. I don't really know what we have to do here. Like, I don't...
Yes?
What's L mean? Do I need to pause? Auto level. Oh, we gotta level up. Okay. Wait, whoa. Guys. We can choose to be on the light side or the dark side? Are you kidding me? Alright, well. Persuade. We might run their security, treat injury. That'll be nice. Oh, I don't have the prereqs for that. Okay. Little critical strike. How about that? Guys, should we be aiming for the light side or dark side? Which, I don't know which way I want to go with this. Do we want to be evil or do we want to be good? You're saying light? Alright. We'll be the good guys. Now I just gotta figure out where to go. I wonder if there's some sort of like... Okay, there's a quest menu. Attack on the Endar Spire. Reach the bridge. But she's no longer to be found. She'll likely make her way to the starboard escape pods. If you want to get off the Endar Spire alive, you should do the same. Alright. I don't know how to get there, but... Oh, wait, maybe we have to run over here to these doors. Yup. Exactly. Exactly where we need to go. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it.
There's something behind here. Damn, another Dark Jedi. I'll try to hold him off. You get to the escape pods. Go!
Alright, cool. He probably dies. I'm just gonna assume. You should make your way to the starboard section of the ship. Alright, let's do it, guys. We're about to escape. Locked. Use our little security skill. How about that? Nope. Still can't do it. Okay, well. There we go.
This is Carthel Nassi on your personal communicator. I'm tracking your position through the Endar Spire's life support systems. Bastila's escape pod is away. You're the last surviving crew member on the Endar Spire. Now, I can't wait for you much longer. You have to get to the escape pod.
Let's do this. Get to the escape pods, guys. Let's go. We got a Sith Trooper. We're gonna run critical strike. Alright. Well, we can just push A and select what we want to do, honestly. Let's go, guys. Let's do it. Okay, take that. We're getting credits. Okay, we don't want to go through there. We need to go around. Okay, we've got to open this door. Okay, this is really sick, bro, because now, like, we can just run. Boom. And then...
Be careful. There's a whole squad of Sith troopers on the other side of that door.
Okay,
You need
that's
to find
cool.
some way to
That,
get
I
around
kind of
it.
like that.
You could reprogram the damaged
It's
assault
like
droid to
it's
help you.
real-time,
Get out of the repair parts.
turn-based,
Or you could use computer
almost.
spikes to slice
You
into
freeze
the terminal
time,
and
you
use the Endar Spire's
can just
security
give an
system
order of
against the
commands
Sith.
and your guy will go and do that. It's really different though. Like, it's gonna be something I'm just like not used to, but we'll have to figure it out and run with it and learn it. Droid repair. No, reactivate the droid. The droid is now active. It will attack any enemies that come in range. Leave it alone. Okay. Players can slice into computers to try and override or reprogram existing commands. Slicing a computer requires computer spikes. Okay. Oh my goodness, we got a whole group here. Okay. I don't know what this does. Alright, cool. Oh, dude, I don't know what just happened. Did we do that? I think we did that. Yeah, we did. Oh, we 100% did. That's sick. You can just, guys, we can hack into the cameras and mess with their stuff and kill them from, like, the inside without having to take damage. It's like a nice little sneaky way to kind of go about that. We're gonna get a bunch of loot. We're loot goblins. Don't forget that, guys. We are loot goblins. And we're getting credits.
You've made it just in time. There's only one active escape pod left.
Bro,
Come on,
let's
we can hide out on the
go.
planet below.
Yeah, this is. Instead Dwight left you after winning a ship. Where'd Dwight go? What team did he go to? Who did he sign with? Who are you? How do I know I can trust you? How about that? That seems reasonable. Why should we trust this dude?
I'm a soldier with the Republic, like you. We're the last two crew members left on the Endar Spire. Bastila's escape pod's already gone, so there's no reason for us to stick around here and get shot by the Sith. Now, come on. There'll be time for questions later.
Alright, let's go. Let's do it, guys. Guys, do we use the escape pod or step away from it? Yo, I love these different paths you can go down. This is so cool. So, like, I think there's two different ways you can go about this, and I think your choices are going to make a big difference. I kind of like that. It makes it feel like a much more story-driven game. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. The salary Cap is destroying you now because of all your players want so much money. I believe it, dude. And the Hawks took him. No. Dude. Ah, this game's been so sick lately. Oh my gosh. We're seeing a vision. We're seeing a vision. Who is she? I called it because we're a Jedi. We saw a vision of the future.
Good to see you up instead of thrashing about in your sleep. You must have been having one hell of a nightmare. I was wondering if you were ever gonna wake up.
I knew
I'm
it.
Karth, one of the Republic soldiers from the Endar Spire. I was with you in the escape pod. Do you remember? I'm not surprised. You took a serious blow to the head. You're probably having all kinds of strange dreams. I wouldn't worry too much about it. You've been slipping in and out of consciousness for a couple of days now, so I imagine you're pretty confused about things. Try not to worry. We're safe.
Couple of days
At least for the
now.
moment.
Now we don't
We're in
even
an
know where we're at.
abandoned
This dude
apartment
just
on
kept it. He
Terrace.
kidnapped us.
We banged up pretty bad when our escape pod crashed, but luckily I wasn't seriously hurt. I was able to drag you away from our crash site and all the confusion, and I stumbled into this abandoned apartment. By the time the Sith arrived on the scene, we were long gone.
Sith.
Terrace is under Sith control. Their fleet is orbiting the planet, they've declared martial law, and they've imposed a planet-wide quarantine. But I've been in worse spots. I saw on your service records that you understand a remarkable number of alien languages. That's pretty rare in a raw recruit, but it should come in handy while we're stranded on a foreign world. There is no way the Republic will be able to get anyone through the Sith blockade to help us. If we're gonna find Bastila and get off this planet, we can't rely on anybody but ourselves.
Bro, we're just like, we're kind of deep in the shit for a minute.
That smack to your head did more damage than I thought. Bastila's a Jedi. She was with the strike team that killed Darth Revan, Malak's Sith Master. Bastila's the key to the whole Republic war effort. The Sith must have found out that she was on the Endar Spire and set an ambush for us in this system. I believe Bastila was on one of the escape pods that crashed down here in Terrace. For the sake of the Republic war effort, we have to try and find her.
Wait, is Malak? They said Malak or Revan is Malak's the Sith master of Revan, right? Was that it? I'm trying to think like I'm trying to think of that so the newest Star Wars show or one of the newer ones, The Acolyte. Is that Revan? The dude with the helmet? Like, that's what I'm starting to think and kind of like piece together. So you got 25% chance for KD. Oh shoot. Can one person, even a Jedi, be so important?
While you were out, I did some scouting around. There are reports of a couple of escape pods crashing down into the Undercity. It's probably a good place to start. But the Undercity's a dangerous place. We don't want to go there unprepared, and it won't do Bastila any good if we go and get ourselves killed. I'll tell you whatever I can, though I don't know how much help it'll be.
What do you know about? Oh yeah.
Everything I know about Malak is pretty much common knowledge. He escaped the trap that killed Darth Revan, his Sith master. With Revan's death, Malak became the new Dark Lord. It's obvious that Malak's a ruthless tyrant who'll crush anyone who stands in his way.
That's
just like
crazy.
Revan was. Experience has shown that the Sith won't stop until the Republic lies in ruins. Malak and his Sith don't respect anything except raw, brutal power. It's hard to imagine how someone who used to be a Jedi can become such a monster.
Ooh, you got the one pick, Captain. Let's go, dude.
Malik and Revan were once both part of the Jedi Order, but they were young and headstrong, and against the wishes of the Council, they went to battle the Mandalorians on the Outer Rim. Something happened out there. Something corrupted them and drew them over to the dark side. Or maybe there was something rotten inside them all along. I don't know. They formed an army of ex-Republic soldiers and Jedi who'd fallen to the dark side, with Revan at their head, until Revan was killed by Bastila's Jedi strike team. But even that didn't slow the Sith down. Malik just stepped in and assumed Revan's role. He took control of the Sith Armada and resumed the bloody conquest of the Outer Worlds.
Damn. Okay. Dude, this is really cool backstory. Holy cow. They go in depth.
I'll tell you whatever I can, though I don't know how much help it'll be. I understand why you want to know more about me. I kind of get the feeling we'll be spending a lot of time together over the next while. But this isn't really the best time for long introductions. We should stay focused on the task at hand. There'll be a time for that later. Good idea. We can use it for some grim story. But I figure if we don't do anything stupid, we should be okay. I mean, after all...
So may the force be with you. Oh, you're gonna head out, Captain. Thanks so much for hopping in the stream,
All right,
man.
soldier, let's move out.
Sounds like you had a pretty damn good 9 and 2K. You got that one. You get the one or the first pick. Getting KD, man. There we go. What we got going on? Ooh, let's get some loot. Wait, oh, I think it. What do we got here? Throughout the game, you'll find weapons and armor that are marked as upgradable. These items can be improved by the addition of an upgrade item. Ooh. Upgrade items, you can use the workbench to construct new and powerful versions of upgradable ranged weapons, ranged weapons, melee weapons, lightsabers, and armor. Can we use it? What can we craft? Oh, there's a lightsaber, man. I want to craft one. This guy's trying to... Dude, I just told this dude I'm not even interested anymore. This dude, oh my gosh, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and do this real quick. This guy's gonna rip me off. $830 for an Xbox 360. Yeah, nah. Yeah, right. Get out of here with that. Ooh, okay. Now we should be able to equip that. Let's do it. Guys, we're equipping new weapons right now. I don't think we have any new gear. New clothing items. 2 clothing. Doesn't really help us. Alright. Before we do anything. Oh. Let's go over here. I want to see what do we got for what's gonna be doing the most damage? Physical 1 to 10. Okay. 1 to 12. I might run longsword on that. All right. Okay, I think we're good now. It's like we'll be heading to the apartment complex. Every time you leave the apartment, you must select which party members you wish to take. Since this is the first time you are leaving, you will have to take Carth. Okay. Let's do it. Come on, Carth.
Okay, you alien scum. Everybody get up against the wall. This is a raid. That's how we deal with smart-mouth aliens. Now the rest of you get up against the wall before I lose my temper again. Hey, what's this? Humans hiding out with aliens? They're Republic fugitives. Attack!
Can't we help this guy? You should have never talked back to that Sith. Oh, we just killed. Okay, we found some Sith. Killed them. This isn't okay. Yeah. Won't someone come searching for this patrol? I'm just glad. I'll move them so it looks like they were killed elsewhere. That should throw the Sith off the track. All right. Bet. Take all the stuff, bro. Well, I don't see too many of your kind around here. Most of the residents in this rundown apartment are illegal aliens. My name is Laren, by the way. Alright. We might need to purchase one of these new energy shields. Ooh. Isn't cheap, but it could be the difference between life and death. I'm kind of skipping through this a little bit. Alright. Upper City South, let's go. I don't know where the hell we're going. Saving game. Oh, it is saving. It's saving our game. This might actually be a decent stopping point for us. I think what we're gonna do, guys, is hop over to Battlefront 2 here in just a sec. We're gonna level up. I do like that treat injury. Except this time, I'm just gonna leave it. go. We got more feats, maybe? Nope. Alright, we're gonna accept that. Yo, KOTOR, what up, Boom? Welcome back, dude. Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, running some KOTOR, dude. We kind of made it past the beginning area, so I feel like that was some good-ass progress. Oh, man. Got vibro blades. I think one of them I actually upgraded. There it is, prototype vibro blade. Wait, these are the real deals here. Oh well. Anyways. Dude, you can actually wander around, like, they got NPCs walking around and shit. This is crazy. So you love Star Wars, bro? BioWare did amazing. We wouldn't have Dragon Age or Mass Effect without it. Gotcha. This is interesting. Alright. We got Karth with us. I don't even know who Karth is. Bro, it feels like I feel like I'm in Grand Theft Auto, bro. Just in a big ass city.
Yes, what's on your mind?
You can ask him what's on his mind.
Terrace? The planet's all one big city, but its golden years are long past. And things have gotten worse since the Sith occupied it. From what I hear, the wealthy live on the tops of all the tall towers, and if you're poor, you live down in the shadows.
Live down in the
And it
shadows?
gets worse the lower you go. That's all I can think of at any rate.
Okay.
Me? Well, with all that, I've never experienced anything like the slaughter these Sith animals can unleash. Not even the Mandalorians were that senseless. My homeworld was one of the first planets to fall to Malak's fate.
Dude.
The Sith bombed
Hey,
it into submission.
oh,
There
boom,
wasn't a
boom.
damn thing a Republic
If you're still
force
there,
could
man,
stop.
I got a question for you. So they're talking about Malak and Revan. Is Revan? Is he is he the Sith in the Acolyte TV series? Is he the dude with the helmet? Is that Revan? Like I'm super curious. I don't know if that's like the connection I'm like. I don't know if that's actually a connection that I'm making or if that's just something completely different.
I'm just a soldier. I go where the fleet admirals tell me to. I follow my orders and I do my duty. It's just... doesn't seem right that doing that means I failed them. I didn't.
Bro, alright.
No, I know. Don't worry about it. I must not be making much sense. You probably mean well with your questions. I'm just not accustomed to talking about my past very much. At all, actually. I'm more used to taking action, keeping my mind focused on the business at hand. So let's just do that. If you have more questions,
bet.
ask them later.
I got you, Karth. Let's go, dude. Oh, they do have a map, bro.
Hello there. I haven't seen you in my shop before. Allow me to introduce myself. My name
Equipment
is Kev
Emporium.
Lakers. Welcome to the Equip. You looking to buy some supplies?
Mostly.
The Sith confiscated all. Just so you know.
Oh, okay. What do we got? We got 223 credits. Oh, we don't have enough credits for that. Mount Infinite? Wait, what? Military suit? We can get a military suit, guys? Oh shit, we can get a military suit. Okay. This is defense bonus 7. Quarterstaff. Usually just a smooth staff of wood or light alloys. This is a very simple weapon of ancient design. A double-bladed sword? Guys. You know how insane that is? So it says a difficult weapon to master. The double-bladed sword has a grip in the center with 2 long blades emerging from either end. The double-bladed sword is capable of inflicting more damage, but it's also less precise than the single-bladed variant. I don't care. And then armor. We should have gone 150. Bro. That's pretty sick. Oh my gosh, guys. This is gonna be so cool. Okay, I love where this is going already. Can we save? Is there a way I can save this? I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if there's like a way I can save. Oh, there's a save game option. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Yo, what up, Zim? Yes, sir, dude. Yes, sir. I'm about to hop on over to some Battlefront 2. I'm gonna hop in with a buddy. Still gonna keep the stream up and everything. We're gonna be running some like Battlefront 2 Kyber. I was able to save that. That's dope. Okay. Dude, this has been really cool though. I just equipped the double-bladed sword. Like, I'm super hyped. I got that and I got some heavy armor. And look at this thing, man. Look at this. Look at this controller, Zim. Look at this thing. The monster. But yeah, dude. With that, with Knights of the Old Republic, I am playing that directly off my original Xbox. Dude, this is really cool. I'm not gonna lie. This is really cool. I'm loving where this game is going right now. I do have a question for you, Zim. So they're talking about Malik and Darth Revan. Is Darth Revan, is he the enemy in the Acolyte? Is that Darth Revan just a very young Darth Revan? The dude that wears that helmet? No? Okay. See, I kept thinking that was, and I was like, oh, I'm probably making some wrong connection. Like, that's probably not it. I was trying to figure out for the longest time, like, who was in the Acolyte then? Who was, or unless he just didn't have much backstory. I'm about to Google search this. So this takes place years before, gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna ask, where is the Acolyte from KOTOR 1 timeline? So the Acolyte takes place roughly 3,800 years after the events of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Okay, which is KOTOR 1. Okay. And the Acolyte is 100 years before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Okay. Okay, this is like kind of putting things into perspective for me. I was looking that up. Alright, dude, that's sick though. We're way back. Like, this is really, really far back into the Old Republic. Cause like, I could have swore I've heard of Darth Malak before. Now, where I heard him, I don't know. Go ahead and put my disc back in. But yeah, dude, I didn't have anything I needed to update on Battlefront 2, so. So the Acolyte is High Republic. Oh, this is Old Republic. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking this was still High Republic era. That's why. But literally it says Knights of the Old Republic, so. Yeah, no. My mind just wasn't in the right place there. For some reason I was thinking High Republic. Dude, yeah, this is so far back. Like this is history here. This is history in the making. I'm about to figure out what happens during this time. I'm gonna go ahead and get Battlefront 2. Don't mean to get up close and personal, but there we go. Go to my display port. All right. That's how I change my input on my monitor. I kind of reach back behind it. Let's go ahead and get this. Dude, let's go ahead and get this thing pulled up. We're gonna launch Kyber launcher. I'm gonna pull up Discord as well. So the Revan book is one of the best reads in the Star Wars universe. Bet I need to know that, Zim. That's something I absolutely need to know because I want to get some Star Wars books at some point, just like I want to get Lord of the Rings books. Probably won't get it anytime soon, but I'm telling you right now, I will end up getting those at some point. Battlefront 3. Okay. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna hide this. I guess technically you can look up my Kyber launcher. It's just a server list, really. And then I need to go ahead and pull up my Discord. Ah, shoot. My buddy's not on. I thought he was gonna hop on. I guess not. Snap. Well, I'm still gonna play some Kyber. Dude, Zim, thank you so much for the follow, man. Much appreciated, dude. But yeah, I think I am still gonna at least run like a game or two of Kyber just to kind of close out the night. Dude, this is so cool though. We'll go to host. It's gonna look jank from your end because I'm running this on the full display, which I'm gonna go J-Man solo. Where's my password? Yep. All right, and then max players, we're running 64. And then probably want to run what, co-op attack? I'll just run co-op. We're gonna run some co-op here. I just got a bunch of random stuff selected, and so those are galactic assaults. Get them out of here, bro. I'm not trying to run that. Just run co-op attack here. Kashyyyk. We'll go Scarif. We'll go Endor. Death Star 2. Jakku. I don't mind that. Starkiller Base. First Order Destroyer. I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff out there. Okay, so now we go ahead. We'll go ahead and we'll get this launched. Start server. And now it should kind of load up our game, which I'll have to go back into my streaming software and pull that up for you. Dude, this is gonna be fun though. With this Kyber launcher, we get playing the battle. I think it was like Battlefront expanded specific mod. I think it adds in like 50 plus heroes into the game, and you get some new abilities. It's what Battlefront 3 would feel like if they were to release a Battlefront 3. Okay, auto HDR. I love this game though. This is so much fun. We can run as like Ahsoka. We can run as like the second sister. We can run as Cal Kestis. There's just really a ton of really cool characters you can play as. You can run as Mace Windu. That's now a thing, believe it or not. Now I have to do this weird thing where I bounce out and have to balance teams, which is really weird, but is what it is. Here's what I'm about to do. Ba-da-ba-boom. Ba-da-ba-boom. Alright, and then I do want to go ahead and get the game pulled up. It's legit up. I just gotta get teams set on server side. Will be light side, I guess. And here's what we go. Shuffle teams. Bet. We'll go 32-32, right? Is that the way to do it? Let's go 30-30. How about that? Start. With less than 2 players, this can end the round immediately. Are you sure you want to continue? What? What's it talking about, bro? 31. Oh, shoot. Okay. What about that number? Starting at Assault? No, I want to run Heavy, bro. Look at this now. Look at this right here. Isn't that crazy? All those heroes, dude. Also, we gotta make sure game capture's running right. Oh, dude. Zim, how's the audio? Do I need to lower anything?
First secure this
Oh,
area by
100%.
capturing the position.
That's a little loud.
Then we'll continue the attack.
Oh, that's because I was hitting the wrong key. Cool, okay. There we go. So I'm in console, bro. Why am I in console? Okay, I was like, bro, that's the dumbest thing. All I wanted to do is go to my audio and just turn down my master volume with a smidge. There we go. You say good now? Zim, let me know, is it still good after I made that change? There we go. Bro, this will be fun. Damn. We got messed up. There we go. Alright, good. Glad to hear it, man. Okay, this is once we get some of these guys, it'll be wild. Look at this. Look at this. This is Claude. He's worth 10,000 battle points and he has no attack. Oh wait, no. I know what'll be fun. If I run, I'm gonna respawn. I wanna run as a specialist. It is so much fun to snipe in this game. I'll either be like on point or just really bad. I'm usually right in between. Or nowhere in between. It's either like really good, I'm doing really good, or really bad. Alright, let's do it. Let's see what happens here. They also have like new appearances for the different classes. Man, we're missing. Got him, let's go. Oh, come on. There we go. Get some kills. It's been a minute since I've like played an FPS. Woo. Okay. We got one around the corner. Come on now. Uh-oh. 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 Yep. I'm done for. Alright, we got Kit Fisto available. What? No, we don't. Why is the game lying like that? Oh. We got Mace Windu. Oh, this is my favorite, Galen Malik. If you guys have played Star Wars The Force Unleashed, you will know exactly who this is. Oh, man. So we're just defending. Oh, I thought we were attacking. Bro, I think we're on the wrong team. Oh, that was the kick. Swap like that. Okay, there we go. Now it should swap us. Now we're on the dark side. Okay, so I wanted to be on the attacking team. Lord Vader. Oh, that goes hard. Darth Sion. That dude looks insane. Run with a rocket trooper. That's always fun. We'll fly around. Boom. Darth Sion. Oh, he's in KOTOR 2? Oh shit. Dude looks crazy, dude. He looks like a zombie. He looks like a Sith zombie. He just looks nuts, bro. I bet that dude just goes ham. I bet he's like he's the dude that's just gonna come in and fuck shit up, man. I feel like that guy is just crazier than the Emperor, bro. put myself right there. He literally can't die. Oh shit, dude. You can't beat that. I mean, if you can't die.
So, I've suffered the heat and the sand here, only to now suffer defeat as well. Unacceptable. Regroup.
Dude, I gotta run another. That didn't last long because I swapped and then it's already too late. Yeah, I really want to be on that attacking team every time because that's just way more fun. What am I? Swap me. Be dark side. There we go. Dude, I want to look at him again, bro. Like he just, dude, he looks crazy. I mean, his lightsaber looks sick as hell over here. Like directly behind me, man. That design. Dude, okay. What else we got? Oh, do I need to add people? Oh, I do. Oh, shit. Okay. Do something like that. Yeah, that'd be all right. We also got Star Killer here. Dude, like this is kind of sick too for me. Like I grew up on those games. Force Unleashed. Run my heavy. Bro, here we go.
We have located the rebel base on Yavin 4.
Yeah, so like from here on out, guys, we'll be starting every stream off now with Knights of the Old Republic. That's gonna become the new grind, and then eventually that'll turn into Knights of the Old Republic 2. And then after that, I haven't decided where I'm gonna go after that. So there's gonna be more original Xbox games for me to play through. And I've got Star Wars Clone Wars. Before we kind of get into the Xbox 360 era. Man, I think I'm thinking for like Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2, I wanted to get them hard copy for my 360. Then realized they're a little more pricey. So I think you can get them on Steam for a lot cheaper, and you can get some of the better bundles with those. Oh shit! Here we go. There's a lot of them. Got her. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Oh, we got some more? Come on, I'm shooting at his legs, bro. There we go. We got obliterated. What was that? An impact grenade? Dude. I think we just got vaporized. So the new Old Republic game is in development. Ooh, okay, gotcha. Should be fire, bet. We got Rick the door technician. Oh shit. Might run patrol trooper. We got mouse droid. That's crazy. Gonna run heavy again. Just keep racking up that points. We need more BP. Let's run it. Dude, they could with KOTOR, couldn't they actually just be putting out movies that covers all that? They could easily be putting out movies and shows just like crazy covering that whole timeline, right? Like it's just a whole nother thing that needs to be covered. Giving it more of a like short story format. Listen, man, Disney has made it official lore. Oh, they did. Okay. I didn't know that. So you hope they bring it to the big screens, dude. That I want to see that. I want to see that so bad. I mean, look at what they're already doing with the Acolyte. Like I feel like they're working their way there. I think what they're doing is just going back in time now, and it's they're getting further, or they're starting to go that way. Like they just need to keep going. Keep going, don't stop. I gotta run a Star Killer. I gotta do it. Alright, here we go. Can I just take C by force? Not at all. Bro, yeah, I'm getting wrecked. This might not be our like difficulty, bro. It's also been a minute. Where's my teammates, bro?
How can the rebels still resist us? Crush them at once before it's too late.
That's insane. That's just too hard difficulty, man. That's crazy. I don't want to quit. I just want to get into the next game. So gotta go have a good stream. Thank you so much, Zimbiotics. That's it. Dude, have a good night, man. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I'll be right back at it tomorrow night. Probably right around 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I got started a little bit late tonight, but yeah, dude, I'll be continuing KOTOR. And I didn't make it too far, but I did just like upgrade some stuff on my character. Yeah, I kind of wonder. I wonder what multiplayer is like on this thing. I don't get what's happening here. Well, I thought we'd just hop in. Disconnecting. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Darth Nihilus. He's KOTOR too, isn't he? Damn. They added in more. That's crazy. Dude, he looks insane. Alright, guys. That's sick. Okay. Well, guys, I'm just kind of looking through some of this stuff, and there were some like small changes on it. But I do think I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. So guys, we will be right back at it once again with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Starting off with the first one on the original Xbox, guys, and we'll be just continuing that on tomorrow night. We do plan on streaming once again right around 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We are currently live on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and TikTok. All you guys have to do is look up iAchieve Studios or iAchieve, and you guys will find me. I'm trying to post clips daily on both TikTok and YouTube. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch everyone in the next stream.